Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the fashion show titled Big Hats. Kidding. We're over here at the apartments, and I wanted to do this quick video here about a residential version of should you go solar on rental property, okay? My answer is yes. Let me show you exactly what I did, how it's working, how the money works, and all that kind of jazz, and then you can decide for yourself. Yeah, it's the glamorous part.
Hey Phil, ¿cómo estás?
We're here. This is a 4-unit building. If you want to look, I've got 39 SolarWorld panels here. These are 285 watt panels. They're about 2017 model years, just so you know. Was able to source them really inexpensively. There's a great local outfit in here. If you want to take a look at the description, there's a link. Super cool guys. They wholesale panels. They also refurbish commercial panels, and you can get great deals. So what we have here, I've got 3 strings, 13 panels a piece. So that's 39 panels at 285 watts. They're on the western face of the roof, right? So this long part of the roof runs north and south. These are on the western face, so they capture the afternoon sun to get maximum power during the really hot time of the day. So what happens is we've got wires. They run all the way down to that side of the building. You can see some pipes going over to that building right there. Those pipes go down. It connects to an inverter. I use SolarEdge equipment that I really like. So we'll go take a look at that in a second. And then basically it generates electricity whenever the sun comes up. So one thing you do need to know, the newer solar panels, if you look at these little squares here on them, the newer the solar panel, the more power you get per square. So what you're paying for with the newer technology is you get more wattage per square inch of panel. As you can see, this building here and a lot of single-story buildings in Phoenix, you have a ton of roof space because everything's single story. So it's very long and flat and spread out, and you got plenty of room to put panels. If you live in a part of the world where maybe you have 2-story houses or not as much roof space relative to your building volume, you might need to pay for newer panels because you just don't have as much space to put them. But these I was able to get for a little under 50 cents a watt, which is really great because they're American made. They're rated for really high wind loads and even snow loads, but they are guaranteed to produce for 25 years, which is super awesome. See it probably up top. All right guys, so when we do the panels on the roof, this company that makes these little brackets here is called DinoRacks. They're super cool guys. I'll put a link to them in the show notes. They're actually based out of Buffalo, New York, of all places. But this is a super simple bracket. It's got a little butyl rubber sealant right here. So it's basically like a big metal bracket with a sticker on it. You stick it right to the roof, shoot the bolts in, and this rubber seals around the bolt holes. And you use the solar panel itself as a jig, so everything stays pretty nice and flat. As you can see, if you look down this line, these panels are pretty well in line. It is a 60-year-old building, so the roof's a little wonky. That's just how they go. But I love this system. These brackets are cheap. You can ship them right in through UPS. You don't have to pay for truck freight or anything like that, and they make installation a snap. You literally need 1 bolt gun and 2 different size bolts. So they give you the screws, you tighten this down on the bracket, and you ground them out. Done. Panels on the roof. It's super awesome. Let's go take a look at the inverter. Guys, so this is the second part of the solar system. This is a SolarEdge inverter. This one is actually storage capable. Believe it or not, I found this barely used on Craigslist for like 350 bucks when I was first getting started. So I bought it off Craigslist and stored it in the garage for a couple of months until I could get all the permits and everything done. This is a 7.6 kilowatt inverter. It'll actually top out at about 8.1 kilowatts, but all the panels here come down through that pipe. This is a DC combiner right here, which is a little box that basically makes wires come together safely. Comes in here. This turns the DC power from the solar panels into AC power. It comes back out this pipe right here. So this is a 40 amp output that goes back over into my main panel and helps to run all the equipment here in the apartments. This is a pretty good sized system. I would have loved to put a little more solar on here, but we ran into some engineering stuff that we couldn't go any bigger. But this one's been producing very, very well. So it runs out of here. We'll go take a look at the meter real quick, and it feeds into the main panel, and then we can do a little deal on the power bill. Guys, so this is the same pipe that came out of the inverter. This meter is owned by the power company. This is the production meter for the solar system. So it basically tells the utility company here how much I'm producing at any given time. These are 2 safety switches. It's mandated, it's electrical code, you have to have them. This one's locked. This one is a power company access to where they can shut down power on both ends and keep the system safe in case they need to service it. And then this is mine. This is a fuse box. So there's big fuses in here that if anything screws up, they'll pop and shut the whole system down to keep everybody safe. This feeds back into my main meter, in my main panel here. So this is a bi-directional meter, meaning if I'm overproducing and it's going back out to the power grid, it'll make a note of that. And if I need to pull power, it'll also make a note of that. So this is bi-directional. And that's really it. A bunch of parts, pipes, wires, bolts, and things go into this, but the system's working great. It's been up for a couple months now, and it's producing very well. Cool. All right, guys, so wanted to show you, this is for the apartment building. This scenario is playing out a little bit differently, and I'm interested to figure out why. So this is the SolarEdge monitoring technology, which I just love. It's super cool. It gives you really accurate data on when you're generating and when you're not. This property we don't have much data on yet. We've only been operating for a couple of months. So the solar system was commissioned in May. As you can see, I don't have any billing data for 2018 because I just acquired the property in September of 2018. So this is the first month we had solar. I've got a little bit more stuff running at this building. So I've got 11 air conditioners. They're very efficient, but there are 11 of them. So as you can see, we had 1 month of generation. So it dropped the June bill to $47, which was awesome. Very happy with that. We had some tenant turnovers and some issues there, so things went a little haywire. So July, the bill went up to $80. Still not bad, but you know, more than I wanted. We had a big jump here in August, and I actually had to call the power company to figure it out. It turns out that wasn't the solar's fault. The way it works when you're a landlord in Arizona is that you put a master billing policy. So if a tenant skips out and doesn't pay their power bill, you get to eat it. Fortunately, I know where these tenants live because they ran out on me, so we're gonna have a little conversation about that. But they said the bill should have been around $50 or $55. So you can come over here to the dashboard. Again, this is the SolarEdge stuff. It's really cool, and it'll tell you exactly how much you're generating by month. You can even click over here during the day. So there's our power generation cycle. It starts generating right there at about 6 o'clock in the morning. We're running along now, and we've just hit 6.1 kilowatts at 10:30. So here's the really cool part. You know, you can see the environmental benefits. I do this. I like this stuff just because I care. I don't know if you do or not. It's fine either way. But you're looking at the amount of CO2 saved, right? So look at this: 16,000 pounds of CO2, 419 trees planted, and this is just from the one system. If you come back here to home, it's kind of cool. It's going to give us some lifetime energy stats. So when this clicks over, sorry, my internet's being a little bit slow today. But look at this, lifetime energy, 9.15 megawatt hours off both the systems. 18 kilowatts of solar running on 2 different sites. There is a flag on this one because one of my optimizers isn't talking correctly to the computer, but just really cool. You know, I mean, you're looking at how many kilowatt hours you're generating and all of this sort of thing. And it just, not only does it pay back well, but it makes me feel good. So anyway, I hope this video helped. If you're thinking about going solar at all, I think it's really awesome as long as you kind of DIY it and don't spend retail money. It tends to pay back really, really well. If you're gonna just write a check to a contractor and pay full retail for it, I don't think the payback is as good. So anyway, I hope that helped. If you got any questions, throw them up in the comments, or, you know, tell me how bad I did. Talk to you on the next one. See you.